Okay, welcome back to round one of this Pure versus Legit versus series. We're just getting ready to battle here. Josh won the die roll, deciding whether or not to mulligan. My hand is keepable. It's not the greatest, but we get turn 2 Blight into turn 3 Sultai Charm with some scries, so if he's on an aggressive matchup, we're fine. Like I think he is. And if he's not, we can always use the charm to loot away the Bile Blight. So, fine shape all around. We'll see what ends up going down. Temple of Malady. Alright. I guess I'll do the same. It's the only land that lets me cast Bile Blight on turn 2. And we're going to bottom all lands because we have more than enough. We might end up wanting more for a big Villainous Wealth or like a Silence of the Believers or something, but right now we don't really care. Okay, Opulent Palace, so slow and steady. Alright, let's check out what we have on top. We have enough lands and not enough things to do with them. Wayfinder doesn't seem very impactful, so we're going to push it and pass the turn. Puts a card on top. Doesn't have anything to do on 1, 2, or 3. So I might have been wrong about him being on an aggressive deck. Or like a devotion-y strategy. We'll see. This could be some weird mirror. There is a Caryatid. I'll go ahead and fetch. We'll grab a Swamp because we have 2 islands in hand. And I don't really need to blow this Sultai Charm yet. I would much rather just wait. We'll jam Kiora. -1 into a temple. And get a little more velocity. Try to pull ahead. Oh, great, a wealth. So in a few turns, it's going to be really good. Dig Through Time is perfect. Let's open up the graveyards here. Looks like we might actually have ended up on some sort of control mirror. I've seen a deck floating around that plays Caryatid, Courser, and Dictative Karametra to support the Villainous Wealth, which looks like what they're doing. So I'm a bit more of a traditional control deck. I don't incorporate as many ramp elements or many really dead cards. We'll +1 on the Palace. Delta, because we want to fill our graveyard for dig. It lets us cast it end of turn without doing anything else. So 6, 7. So we'll be able to dig for, or we'll be able to cast Wealth for 6, 7. If we are able to hit a land with Kiora, that's 8 lands in play, so X equals 5. Not terribly impressed with that, but I don't think it's necessarily going to get any. Like, I don't think we're trying to hit anything greater than X equals 5. anything with converted mana cost greater than 5, I mean. But I would like to ideally get more cards than just 5, but it's probably enough in the control mirror when things are a little tight. Like, card advantage is so important. So if we get Josh to counter this, or respond with something, respond with his own dig. Oh, right, we want to hit dig at 8. Yeah. Alright. Didn't think about that. So we want to cast Wealth for X equals 8, but I don't think we're going to be able to. If we find multiple counterspells, I would be inclined to wait, but okay, 1 counterspell and a Villainous Wealth, and then I'll bottom everything else. And this is a pretty good grab. We can cast 1 Wealth now and wait on the second one. Oh, perfect. Sweet land, get to play Island, get to play Forest, get to Villainous Wealth for 5. Let's see what we get. 2 Dictates and a Bile Blight. Sure. I'll cast the Dictates. Hopefully he doesn't have a Villainous Wealth, because if he does, we have a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Multiplied times 4 is 28. Dictate for 25. Well, it's fine. Or Wealth for 25. That's fine. We can beat that on our next turn. QR is great. Alright. Draws cards, downfalls. Thankfully, most of the most decks don't run too many counterspells. Maybe like 5 at the most. But I'm going to do a little bit of looting this turn, I think. Alright, that's perfect. Get rid of some of the dead cards and set up a more potent Villainous Wealth turn. Next turn, once the temple untaps and maybe we found another untapped land. Sultai Charm to loot, sure. Or I guess not technically loot, but yeah, it resolves. Getting rid of some dead cards, just like I am. So this looks like the pseudo mirror, but I'm being a little more reactive and a little more fair with it, and Josh is being a little more proactive. We'll see who wins. I think it's going to be very involved. Yeah, of course it resolves. Okay, so Dictates actually only make 3. It doesn't double the mana. It's 1 extra. So I didn't remember what the card did correctly. Alright, so we're gonna loot. again. I don't care about the Courser. Yeah, that's fine. Mana can disappear. Alright, so we pay 1. I'll pay black. I have access to the most black mana by far. And I'm definitely willing to fight a counter war over this Kiora because of how good it is with these dictates out. Wow, that's amazing. So I know I want the top card. We'll draw that first. Then I will cast Sander Wayfinder. Still have two land drops remaining. See, Opulent Palace and Temple of Mystery. I already have a Scryland, so I'll just take the Palace here. Possibly a mistake, but I will go ahead and Treasure Cruise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops. And wow, that's nuts. All right. Going to Temple. Dig is a great card to keep on top. Play the Palace. I could even cast another Kiora on minus, but I want Josh to spend some time and energy getting rid of the first one. I'm way ahead here because of the cruise and because of Kiora. Like, I have multiple relevant cards in my hand. So I'll just pass turn. I can afford to cash in the Kiora next turn for another Explore. Because I have the third one in my hand. I'm running very low on win conditions, so I have to make sure that this Villainous Wealth resolves, but other than that, it's very good. Alright, Josh has carried it in hand. All creatures you don't control, all planeswalkers you don't control. That's fine. It's just a 2-for-1. I don't really care about it. I have to save my dissolve to fight over this Villainous Wealth, which is most definitely going to mill him out. Alright, so we're going to loot with this Sultai Charm, draw into this dig that's on top, and then cast it. I will discard the Wayfinder. I will cast the dig with just blue and my graveyard. 6. Oh, none of those are good. I'll take the Delta and the Downfall. I don't think it's going to end up mattering, but that was just an awful dig through time. We do get another dissolve, though, which is exactly what we needed. I'm pretty sure we just milled Josh out here. If I tap everything. That is a lot of mana, folks. 4, 3. Alright, we're going to leave 6 mana in the pool. And we'll cast Villainous Wealth for X equals 27. Josh dissolves. I will dissolve back. Wow. Okay, we'll bottom Bioblight. And let's see if this resolves, shall we? Alright, well, I'm going to have some fun. Or he just concedes. Alright. So we get to see the majority of his deck. He does have Kioras, 4 Villainous Wealths, Caryatids, Coursers, whole 9 yards. He's playing the traditional, Caryatid, Courser, Dictate, Villainous Wealth kind of thing. Whereas I'm playing a little bit of a grindier game, like I suspected. So, I kind of thought he was going to be on the Devotion list when he told me he was playing Villainous Wealth. But it turns out he was on the control list. So, it's interesting. So I'm bringing in all my counterspells and all my discard, as well as the 3rd Wealth as a win condition. I'm going to sort by converted mana cost here, which I think it's already done. Alright. Taking out taking out all of the this dead removal here. Actually, dead drop might not be bad because of Caryatids and stuff. But blights are definitely awful. Silence is definitely bad. I like the rest of the configuration. One of the Sultai Charms is probably not great. As well as, yeah, the dead drop can go. So, we have a couple of Sultai Charms because it still interacts with Courser and cards like Dictate, as well as the looting is not bad to, like, if we're flooding out or if we're drawing too few lands, it helps us get more consistency. It also gets cards in our graveyard for Cruise and Dig. So this looks like a good configuration. I like keeping in the downfalls to deal with Josh's Kioras. And obviously Coursers. And then the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. We have all 3 Villainous Wealths as win conditions. I don't think that Kiora is going to end up ultimating. I think it's unlikely. Because she gives us both incentive to keep in Hero's Downfalls. So it ends up coming down to Villainous Wealth Mills. This hand is pretty good on the draw. You get to hit some land drops, counter some spells, whole 9 yards. Alright, that's good. That means that I can play the Polluted Delta next turn, or the Swamp, and have negate up. Which will be great. It would have been great if he had a Caryatid here. But I'm going to play the Swamp because I don't really want to fetch just yet. I would like to draw another blue source because all of the cards in my hand right now are blue. Some of them, like Dig and Dissolve, are double blue. Alright, so we're just playing a waiting game here. Get you some draw-go action. Now I'm going to play the Polluted Delta so that I can dissolve if I need to. If Josh brings in some like random dumb creature like a Reaper of the Wilds. Which is unlikely, but possible. cast a Courser before he plays his land. I don't think... I actually do think Courser is worth spending a Dissolve on. It pressures my Kiora, and the most important thing in any control mirror, but especially one in which both players are trying to cast Villainous Wealth, speaking of the devil, is land drops. So I think tapping out for that Courser was just bad on Josh's part, but we'll see. Because it lets me get value out of my Kiora no matter what. But if he didn't have a counterspell in hand, it makes sense. Alright, plays his own Kiora, which is fine, I guess. Fetches and then Thought Seizes me. Okay. Probably takes the dig, but might take the wealth. Yeah. I'm not very close to casting the wealth, but I am very close to casting the dig. Alright, we'll +1 on our opponent's Kiora, just for the hell of it. We can counter a Nissa anyways, so plussing on one of the lands is irrelevant. Alright. And Josh does the same. Like, this whole exchange is very much in my favor because I was able to resolve Kiora first. And I'm able to downfall Josh's right now, so. Black from Urborg, black. This is definitely worth fighting over. There are so few ways to remove a Kiora in this game. And I'll go ahead and use negate. Again, I don't know if... No, I want to use a dissolve. The reason I want to keep negate in my hand is because it means that in certain situations I only have to hold up 2 to 5 mana. When I'm casting Villainous Wealth, as opposed to 3 to 6 mana. The dissolve. Charm is not what I want to draw right now. I just want to hit land drops. That's all I care about. Kiora is so good in this mirror. Pseudo mirror. Rather. Just a steady stream of cards, the ability to accelerate your mana early. All sorts of really great things. Now there is a chance that I can untap and start taking my Kiora up to ultimate if Josh doesn't kill it right now. Okay. Okay, so we have a Sagu Mauler in the house. I'm gonna loot right now. in an attempt to find an answer because I can't interact with the Saga Mauler. I mean, I guess we're discarding this Disdainful Stroke. And Kiora is plussing on the Mauler. And we're in a little bit of trouble, but not too much. Are we unmorphing? No, Jace's Ingenuity. Alright. That's fine. Okay. Let's see what Wayfinder gives us. Gives us no lands. I'm still going to plus Kiora with Dissolve and Negate up and pass the turn. It's possible that the morph is something else, but I think it's there's a really good chance it's just a Saga Mauler. Alright. Scries into a land. -1's Kiora. Plays the land. I might do the same. Yeah. That Mauler has to attack into my Kiora anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So like, and I can't stop it from flipping with a +1, so I might as well. Yeah. I'm definitely bringing back in Dead Drop after this. After seeing the Mauler. No reason to block. Does Josh have a counterspell? Definitely. Is it worth casting Villainous Wealth for 4? Is the question. So if we hit a Kiora, we're in pretty good shape. Like Kiora, Courser, something like that. We're in pretty good shape to keep going. But I think every turn we wait and let that Kiora keep going, Josh gets way too much value. I'm going to go ahead and cast it for 4 with a negate up. Hope he only has 1 counter. Negate your stroke. Aw. Oh, resolves. Oh, we get a Kiora. Great. I'll loot. Or I'll explore, rather. Treasure Cruise is great. Josh gets to kill the Kiora with the Saga Mauler again, but that's fine. Because I can untap and cruise. Alright, he's playing Dictate here, and then maybe casting a Villainous Wealth next turn. Alright. Definitely casting Villainous Wealth if he minuses Kiora. That is a ridiculous amount of mana. Wealth for 15. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can crack back with a wealth for the same amount. Let's see what he got. Oh, he gets to Thoughtseize away the Treasure Cruise. That's bad. And cast a Dig Through Time and a Wayfinder. Okay, well, he got some good ones. But thankfully he didn't get my last wealth. What does the Wayfinder get? The Wayfinder hits one of his wealths. Grabs a Temple of Melody. Alright. Dig Through Time resolves. Unfortunately. Thoughtseize, I assume, takes Treasure Cruise. Yep. So I have one Dig Through Time left as far as card draw spells. And one Soul Tide Charm. And one Villainous Wealth. Oh, one Kiora too. So I have about 4 relevant outs. That was not one of them. That's not one of them either. We'll go ahead and trade off Satyrs. Alright. Kills off the Kiora. I'm assuming he has another one in hand. Yep. I will negate that. See if we can start a fight. I should have dissolved for same logic as earlier, but looks like I'll get a chance to dissolve. But Josh knows about the dissolve, so if he's casting Dig, he probably has a counterspell. No, interesting. Alright, well, Downfall can go to the bottom. He was just baiting my counterspells. What else does he have? Another Villainous Wealth? Yeah. Yep. Alright, so got all my other win conditions, yeah. Alright, I'll concede. I have Swamp and Hero's Downfall on the bottom. Jeez, that was bad. Saga Mauler was the whole problem there. So, go ahead and bring in Dead Drop instead of another Sultai Charm. And maybe Murderous Cut instead of another one? Murderous Cut handles Courser as well. I'm fine with Dead Drop. Having one out should be good enough because I also have counter spells. And I have Downfall for the Morph. Alright, so we're currently going into the deciding game of this match. I will play first. I don't think this hand is great, but it's very resistant to Thoughtseize. And I have Satyr Wayfinders to help me hit my my fourth land. I have more. Satyr Wayfinder gives me more outs, which is always good. Go ahead and lead with the island here. Sure. Well, I might take out Caryatids if I were him. Sideboarding. Because, sure, it helps you smooth your mana, but it's a dead card otherwise. Alright, well. Don't have a counterspell. Don't have the dissolve this time, so. I'm pretty much forced to plus Kiora here. Yeah. Which is what we'll do. Josh wants to play the Kiora that he'll draw next turn, but at the same time, it's going to be difficult to let me untap with Kiora and possible backup, especially since she's at 3, which means I only need 3 turns. This is all assuming that he has a downfall in hand, which he might not. Alright. He does. I'm going to go ahead and cast Kiora. Anyways. Alright. Dissolve's good. Second Kiora might have been bad. Kiora. Okay. Fine. Well, Villainous Wealth might be coming soon. Jeez. Okay. So Josh has Hero's Downfall. Villainous Wealth, Dig Through Time. And 2 unknowns. Alright. QR Plus is on Swamp. Perfectly reasonable. I could easily run out of time here, depending on how the rest of this game goes. Read the Bones is fine. Can't afford to counter that here. Puts a card on bottom. Draws Polluted Delta and Courser of Crewfix. Alright, I'll cast Dig Through Time. Is this Counterspell or his own dig? Dissolve. Alright. That's fine. Oh, gross. Saga Mauler. Alright, I'll fire off this Thoughtseize. Courser, Dig, Wealth, Downfall, Delta. Courser and Downfall are both too low impact for me to take. Wealth requires him to tap out, so I'm fine with that. I'll take the Dig. Make sure that he's drawing off the top at least a little bit. Okay. Alright, so that hits a land. And another land. Jeez. Courser is getting him so much value this game. Declines to cast the Saga Mauler into a counterspell. Just fine. Alright, we get to bottom of the Urborg. Negate on top is not where I want to be. I have to dissolve this Thoughtseize. Sure. This is bad. Bad news bears. Now Josh just plays another Courser, and I basically get beaten to death with Coursers. By Coursers. Actually, he can play Saga Mauler face down. Gross. But he's playing another Courser. I don't know. I would have morphed the Saga Mauler. I can't Disdainful Stroke it because it technically has converted mana cost of 0 on the stack. Alright, I'm just gonna concede. The resource differential is way too high for me to win this. Josh got the match. It's a very weird match. Very weird matchup. So I'll be back for the next round shortly. Thanks for watching.